Hey everyone, it's Todd from Guilla Games with a Shrouded Aspect devlog update. The Steam Next Fest ended Sunday, and I have mixed feelings about how it went. On one hand, I think it's great that Valve does these kind of events to highlight upcoming games, especially since it's hard for indie games to get any attention. There were over 2,500 games in the event in June 2025 Next Fest. So the first thing I wanted to do was go find Shrouded Aspect in the list and just see it there. So this is where I immediately ran into problems with Next Fest. In the search, I added filters that I knew applied to Shrouded Aspect. I started with strategy, but still didn't see it among the hundreds of results. So I added RPG, still didn't see it, even though it was a smaller set of results. So I added Mac OS because there is a Mac OS version, which, most games don't have. So that narrowed down the list even more. Hardly anything in the list now. And I could see everything, but I still didn't see Shrouded Aspect. I was starting to panic. I was wondering, did I not complete some critical step to get into Next Fest? I'd been preparing for months, so I sent a support request to Valve explaining the situation to see what they would say. And I kept playing with the search filters in the meantime and discovered that if I removed strategy from the filters, then it showed up. What? Okay. So after more trial and error and comparing the displayed tags to other games, Shrouded Aspect only showed 4 tags, where most games showed 5 or 6. So I thought, well, that's weird. In addition to that, the tags showing on Shrouded Aspect were not the ideal tags. So I had to figure out what was going on. I looked at the tags in the tagging wizard, and I realized that I could manually sort the tags, which I didn't realize. So I rearranged the tags so that the shorter tags were at the top, and that resulted in Shrouded Aspect showing 6 tags now. This proved that the number of displayed tags is determined by UI space. But I still wasn't seeing Shrouded Aspect when searching on strategy as a top-level genre. I finally got a response from Valve that said, I believe only the top 5 tags are used for Next Fest listing. I believe. Like, this person doesn't even know for sure. So, but if that's true, that's a really bad design. But knowing this limitation, I went back into the tag editor again. This time I made sure that the most important tags to search for were in the top 5. And boom, now Shrouded Aspect was being returned in the results when I applied the top 5 tags in the filtering. Oddly, the platform and players filter options actually pull from the game's definitions instead of tags. I originally assumed that the filter would also pull from the game's defined top-level genres directly, instead of the tags of the same text, but it didn't. And that's the main reason why searching on strategy didn't return it in the results, because it was pulling from the tags instead of the defined top-level genres. So this filtering debacle has convinced me that many people have not found all the types of games that they were looking for, that they were interested in during Next Fest, not only Shrouded Aspect. Amusingly, these recommendations decided to recommend games with narration and tutorials because Shrouded Aspect has those tags, and I've been playing Shrouded Aspect, obviously. Even though it doesn't seem like good tags to match for recommendations. Anyway, here's the results I got from Steam at the end of the week to show my results, how many people played the demo, how many wish lists I got. It's definitely a bump compared to before Steam Next Fest, but not a big, not a huge dent. So I have a meeting tomorrow with the marketing company. We're gonna talk about what the next steps are that we should do for marketing, and including determining a release date. So I think the best thing that came out of Next Fest was getting some player feedback on the demo. Got some good feedback, some critiques, which were good because obviously the game is still in development. So I'm looking for ways to improve the game before it does come out. There's 2 main things that keep coming up. One is the fact that in the single player game, you are unable to keep your loot, all the loot. You have to choose what you can after the end of each scenario, and then the rest of it gets left behind. So I decided that I'm going to change that, and now you get to keep all the loot as long as you want, exchange it between any of the characters whenever you want. Well, not during the scenario, but in between scenarios you can, trade the loot around. Even for characters that didn't participate in the scenario where it was found. So that's a big change. And the other thing is, scenario 3, people consistently have frustrations with scenario 3, which is the poison fields with all the crows. So I made some changes to that. At first, I think I overcompensated and made it too easy. Then it was just boring. So then I kind of made some additional changes. But I think it's going to be more satisfying to play now. It's still challenging, but more satisfying. So instead of frustrating. Another thing I added here, you can see when you're moving your character, there's a circle around the move cost for each node when you can move there but still have enough action points to attack something. So also when you click directly on an enemy and you're too far away to attack them, previously it would automatically walk you up to the enemy and then attack them automatically if you had enough action points left. But if you didn't have enough action points left, it would just walk you up to them and stand in front of them without attacking, which could be, a bad situation. So now if you click on an enemy in that situation and you don't have enough action points left to attack once you get there, instead of moving, it'll just show the movement path as if you were just moving somewhere. So then you can decide whether you want to click them again and make the move with knowing that you will not be able to attack them that turn. Or you can just move as far as you want with the circle and know that you will still be able to attack from that position. There may not be an enemy in range from there, but at least you know. And that's about the main changes. A lot of bug fixes, but those are the main things. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.